With Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, it gave Xenoblade 1 a second chance to shine for a lot of people, as well as giving people who have never even played the original a chance to play it, like myself. And unlike, a game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where that's like kind of like the original, it's more of like a retelling. Xenoblade Definitive is like a faithful remake with, the main things I would say are, graphically it looks better and the music is redone. But there are a few things that the game obviously added, the main one being future connected, but I'm not mainly going to talk about that. One thing that's like introduced very early on in the game, when you're going off to the big Gower plane shot as I like to call it, is time attack. Time attack is basically, as its names, you fight a bunch of enemies as fast as possible, and you get like Knock-on Stone that you can use to buy gems, buy materials, buy special equipment to give you cool outfits. So just a fun little side thing. But as I described it, that makes you think, oh wow, that's like kind of cool. I'm glad that's added. But it's kind of bad. Now, when I first played Xenoblade Definitive, I didn't play Challenge Battle yet. I know my order for my Xenoblade journey is kind of weird, where I played Xenoblade 2 first, then I'm like, oh my god, I want to play more Xenoblade, so I then played Definitive Edition, then played Future Connected right afterward, then went back to Xenoblade 2, got the expansion pass, played Torna, and then Challenge Battle and all that stuff. So, Time Attack was my first experience with something like this. And I did it once to just check it out, and then I never came back to it until the end of the game to realize, oh yeah, this is this, did it like twice, and like, alright, I'm done. Then I played Future Connected, and Future Connected said, hey stupid, there's level 12 art books now that you can go get from Time Attack. So then I did it a lot more to like grind for those to get like, with the main characters I play as in that game, it's just so they have it. One of the main problems with Time Attack is that there's no like level restriction. So basically you can go into the challenge that says, oh, it's recommended for level 15, but you can go that at like level 99, so it's not even much of a challenge, it just quickly is there and done. With Xenoblade 2 though, what they do instead with Challenge Battle is, oh, this is your highest level is level 60, and if you're above that, we'll level you back down, and if your stats are way too high, we'll level them back down. Which I think, balances out and actually makes it challenging in the name. But I just don't want to keep comparing Time Attack to Challenge Battle, because if we keep doing that, then I'm basically just going to want to talk about Challenge Battle, which, maybe at a later point I will, but not right now. To give Time Attack some credit, I do like the idea of like where, I can't remember the name of what the mode's called, but I think it's like restricted, where it gives you a set party members, it gives you set art palette, it actually sets you to the correct level, which I think that's a cool idea. I kind of like that, where it's like, all right, we're gonna give you all this stuff that if we want you to use this, like we're gonna give you like Melia, Dunban, and let's say Ricky as a team comp. I think actually it's the team comp that it gives you on like one of the later ones, and you just go with him. And I think I like that idea. That's kind of cool. I kind of hope that gets brought back for like, I mean, I kind of hope, but not really. I could care less if it's not there or not, but I think it'd be a cool thing where it's like, we want you to use this team comp, and then, yeah, for Challenge Battle and free, sorry. But that's like the only kind of praise I really have, because, yeah, it's not really that insane. It's just one little thing. Also, another thing about Time Attack, I guess the modes, I don't know, the battles it wants you to use aren't really that interesting compared to Challenge Battles. I know I'm not trying to compare it, but Challenge Battle, let's take one. There's one where you get to play as Jin for a part of it, and that's really cool. It's like supposed to represent the part of the game where Jin's invading the Titan battleship to get all those core crystals in like Chapter 3. And that's really cool that they have that as like a challenge battle. What does Xenoblade 1 have? You get to fight the monkey and the other monkeys and other guys. Okay, that's okay. Cool. I guess the slightly interesting one is where you get to fight Metalface, and yeah, that's like it. You fight Metalface, and then that's the only really interesting one. At like level, I think he's like level 90 fight Metalface. You do actually get one if you beat Future Connected. You do get a special one for time attack, which is technically the best way to grind for the Nopon Stone for, the art book, so I guess that one gets points. So there's really only, I would say, 3 that are interesting, and the third one is not really interesting, it's just the hardest one, which, I mean, I'm not the greatest, I feel, at Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't use, the arts at the correct time, and sometimes I'm not in the correct position to use arts, and my setups aren't fully optimized, on Melia. I don't think one Gen Stop I don't even have equipped, and I think I have, Unbeatable on her as well for some reason, so yeah, and I was still able to do, beat it, first try with that team comp. I mean, for my original first team comp, I had was, Shulk, Ryan, and 7, and Shulk was really the only one who's somewhat optimized, while, Ryan was, close, and 7 was not really. And by optimized, I just mean, their equipment. Their arts were, none of their arts were maxed out, so yeah, it's not really that hard. While with, Xenoblade 2's Challenge Battle, I keep saying I did not want to compare, but I'm really sorry. Those are insanely hard, and you feel like you have to be optimized. Or if you are not completely optimized, you played really good. You got insanely lucky and just played really good. Or you're on custom difficulty and you did that, but that's not hard. Also, another thing that kind of, I guess, hurts time attack, which is not really its fault. It's more of the game doesn't have the things that 2 has, is the custom difficulty and Bringer of Chaos. If it had those, then it would be better. Which, speaking back on that topic, Xenoblade Definitive does have a casual mode, and it's not like Challenge Battle where it's there's different sections, where there's a normal section for the battles, there's a casual or easy section, there's a custom section, and there's a Bringer of Chaos section. This game just doesn't care. You could play on casual, and it's completely fine. It does not tell you. Or if it does, I haven't noticed it, and I can't tell. If there's maybe a mark at the very top right of the screen that's very small that says, this was played on casual, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. If it's just I guess if I had the opportunity to fix time attack, I would say make the level restriction actually it's oh, you need to be level 60 for this, recommended, where it actually puts you at level 60 and forces you to be there. And if your stats are way too high, it lowers them back down, with kind of what 2 does, with your auto attack stat. But I mean, this game doesn't have an auto attack. I mean, it does, so I guess they can lower that down. Adding difficulty options Bringer of Chaos and Custom, but that's not really, like I said, Definitive's fault. That's more of just a feature that 2 has. That I really do hope that comes back for 3, because that's just such a nice thing, such an awesome feature. And also having, I feel, more interesting time attacks, I guess to call it, because like I said, there's only 3. Most actually no, only 1 that's really interesting. The other 2 are just future connected reward and the hardest one. Which, fun fact about that future connected one, there's some sort of glitch that you can glitch out of that battle and run around in because that area is the Biona shoulder, but it's you could have Xenoblade the characters from Xenoblade 1 that shouldn't be there. You can have Dunban running around the Biona shoulder, which he's not supposed to be there in future connected, which is kind of cool. I guess that gets bonus points for that, but that wasn't really intentional. I guess for a hypothetical time attack that they could have done, maybe something similar to Jin, where he invades the Titan battleship. Maybe what if they had one for Gato, that you play as Gato going around Colony 6 and battle attack. Or maybe, actually, more things like that. Maybe one as a Thoron as well. They could do a Thoron or Gato. Or they could, that would be actually, now that I'm thinking of it, that'd be kind of cool. You get to play as Gato and a Thoron for this special time attack, where you go around and fight Colony 6. Supposed to represent the flashback that Charlotte has. I know that he technically they lose, but it was still kind of cool. And another one, maybe you get to play as Metal Face during the attack on Colony 9, or maybe Mecham by the end of the program a complete new moveset. But I understand you can't do that. With Gato, you can just kind of give him Charlotte abilities, and I don't know, maybe throw in a Dunban art in there or 2. I feel that'd be so cool. I kind of another idea, because time attack in the name. What if actually it lets you refight bosses inside the story? Just all the bosses, the notable ones, not oh, the two like monkeys you fight to save Juju. No, that one's not part, but like actual boss fights, and it lets you refight those with your I guess setups. That would be kind of cool, and then you could like speedrun those things, and be a fun way to redo some of those fights. Because there's no really way to like, even in 2, to redo fights. That like you have to basically replay the entire game to get to a fight again. So I feel like that would be kind of a cool feature. Maybe Xenoblade 3 will do something like that. They don't have to. It'd be kind of cool. But I mean, like I said, they don't have to. I guess another big flaw of just time attack in general is that it's not really, actually, no, that's not fair to say it's a big flaw. It's just, my Xenoblade 2 brain rot is mostly saying this, that it's Xenoblade 1 combat, and it's not really as customized as compared to Xenoblade 2's, where you can have all these sets of blades, and, different accessories, and have things work out. Because, like, in Xenoblade 1, the best thing to do is, you're gonna have Shulk as being an attacker, and, like, Ryan's like a defender / attacker, and Charlotte's a healer. There's no really way to mix and match. It's like with Xenoblade 2, it's like, oh, I want Nia to be all offensive, I want Rex to be a healer, and then I want, like, Zeke to be a healer again. So, it's not like that. Which, it's not really Time Attack's fault, that's just more of a Xenoblade 1's combat. It's not as customizable compared to 2's, which, I mean, 1's combat's still fun, there's still fun things you do. Basically, if you just play as Melia, Melia's just, play as Melia, that's what peak combat is. So I really hope with, that Monolith, has learned from their mistakes with, Time Attack, and learned that challenge battle is awesome, and they realize, oh yeah, we should, take these, like, ideas that Time Attack brought. Like, I really do like the whole, let's give you these sets of characters and these sets of arts that you have to use for this time. I like that, it's a cool idea. If they bring that back for challenge battle for 3, and that's the only feature from Time Attack that comes back, I'm fine with that. Which, I mean, it makes sense. They're calling it Challenge Battle again, and not Time Attack, or some other new name. They know. So, they've learned. I know earlier I just said that, Xenoblade 1's combat's not that, interesting and engaging. But if you want, like, Xenoblade 1, like, funny combat shenanigans, it's Tyler has, like, a bunch of combat-related videos where he does solos on a bunch of bosses, like the final bosses, and like the challenge battle. I not that long ago did like the hardest challenge Time Attack battle with like every single party member, which was cool and interesting. Those are fun. I feel like if you do solos, then I feel like Time Attack could be a lot more interesting. But I mean, also another thing, there's no really way to like take people out of your party. You always have to have a party of 3, which 2 lets you take people out, which that's not, like I said, a fault of Time Attack. That's just one little feature I kind of wish Definitive Edition had, but it's really a small feature. Most casual players are always going to have a party of 3. It's us, only us huge Xenoblade fans that are like want to challenge ourselves. Like, yeah, wait, I want to use solo Charla against Territorial Rothbart.